everyone, my name is Ashley Kellison, and today I will be teaching you how to set up site groups and manage your shared components. The first thing that you will need to do is navigate to your organization dashboard. You can do this in your Home tab by selecting one of your action buttons if you have multiple sites. Once you select an action button, it will then give you an option to navigate to the organization dashboard. This will take you to a page that looks like this, and you will first notice a flashing rectangular box that reads, "You haven't finished setting up your organization." If you do not see this, then please reach out to your representative so that they can reset your account. This box indicates whether or not the account has been reset. Please do not finalize this section until you've completed setting up your site groups along with your shared components. So to get to the site group section, all you need to do is click on the tab and that'll navigate you directly into it. You will see on the left-hand side a list of all of your sites. QPass automatically sets one group for you labeled All Sites. This contains all of the sites into this group. It also designates a site to be your primary. If you need to reset it and select another site for the primary, all you need to do is click on the little drop-down arrow and then select the site that you wish to designate as the primary site for this group. You will then proceed by clicking on Save. If all of your sites fall under the same current recognition or the same phase, then you can just use the site group that's already set up, labeled All Sites. However, if some of your sites are in the annual reporting versus the accelerated renewal versus just being brand new to PCMH altogether, you will have to designate them into new groups. The way to create a new group is you will need to click on the New button. This will drop down a box where it will prompt you to name the group. So, my suggestion to you is name it to the group or the phase that it falls under. So if this is the accelerated renewal group, name it as such. The next step is to drag and drop all the sites that are designated to the accelerated renewal. Again, QPass will immediately set one site as the primary. If you wanted to change that, all you will need to do is click on the star next to the site that you wish to designate as the primary site. You will then scroll up to the top and hit Save. You will again do this for the other groups that you wish to save or create. So if this is a site group that is completely brand new to PCMH, just name it as such. And again, just follow through and select the site that you wish to make the primary. After you have finished setting up all of your site groups, you will then need to navigate into your Manage Shared Components section. You can navigate to that section by clicking on the Next button on the right-hand side of the page. From here, you will see two tabs. The first tab is only for the groups that fall under the annual reporting. The second tab is labeled PCMH, and this is for the groups that fall under the transforming phase. Those would be the brand new sites as well as anything in the accelerated renewal process. So To begin, or just to demonstrate, I'm only going to be focusing on the transforming phase. If you click on this plus sign next to PCMH, it will drop down all of the specific criteria under it. The first one contains all of the criteria. It then narrows it down into the core criteria, and then it breaks it down into the elective criteria by concept and the elective criteria unsorted. If you are unsure on how to begin or where to really start, my suggestion is start with the all criteria and work your way down. If you click on this plus sign, it will show you everything that falls within this criteria. The first one is care coordination and care transitions. Again, just click on the plus sign, and now you'll see all of the specific components that are listed under the care coordination. My advice is just starting from the top and working your way down. So again, if you click on the plus sign next to acute care after hours coordination, it will finally show you the item that's eligible for sharing. If you click on this item, it'll highlight it blue, and then you can select the group that you wish to share it in. The difference between the accelerated renewal and the brand new group versus the annual reporting is the accelerated renewal has a lot of information that can be attested to. This information cannot be shared into the other groups that you have designated. The annual reporting requirements has a separate evaluation completely. So any items that you are trying to share within the annual reporting has to be between the sites that fall within that group. So if this acute care after hours is only going to be shared or attested to in the accelerated renewal group, you will go to the right-hand side and click on the checkbox next to the accelerated renewal. This will immediately place that item within that group. If you want to remove that item, all you will need to do is click on the little X button. That'll ask you if you are sure, which you will then just state yes, and that'll completely remove it from the group. If this is an item that's not attested to and can in fact be shared between all of your sites, you can just click on the All Sites button, which it will then appear under the All Sites group. You will need to continuously do this down the list. Again, you will select the item that's eligible for sharing, designate which group it falls under, and then finish it by verifying if it's in the list. After you have finished setting up all of your shared components, you will then need to navigate to the transfer credit section, which you can do by clicking on the next button. In this section, you will see a list of all of the vendors that participate in NCQA's program. If you see a vendor that you work with, you can select them by clicking on the button next to the name. Once you have selected all of the vendors that you work with, make sure you scroll all the way down the page and click on the Next at the end of the page. This will then ask you what sites fall under these vendors. If all of your sites participate under the same vendor, then you can simply just click on all sites and drag them into each section. Otherwise, you will have to click and drag each individual site under its appropriate vendor. Once you have completed that task, you can then simply scroll to the top and click on the next button that's on the right-hand side. This will bring you to an area where you can upload your letters of implementation. To do this, you would just simply click on the Add button. This will bring up a rectangular box where you can simply just click on the box, and that'll open up all of your folders. From there, you would just go to the vendor letter, and you can double click or drag it in. Once the letter is attached, you can then click on Done. If you need to unattach the letter, you can simply remove it by clicking on the X button and then hit Yes. When the letter is in the system, make sure you click on the button that reads Submit for Review. When you click on this button, it will transmit your letter over to one of our representatives who will look it over and approve of it. The moment they approve of the letter, you will automatically receive your pre-validated credits into your account. If you're using the same vendor letter for multiple vendors, then make sure you rename the letter so that you can plug it in. Otherwise, QPass will not recognize it or will give you an error message saying that this letter is already in existence. The transfer credit section does not need to be completed during this initial setup. If you do not have the appropriate documentation, you can continue on by clicking on the next button. Or if you have uploaded the document, then please move to the final steps in this setup. This will bring you to an organization review. Once you have completed all of these steps, you would simply click on the finalized button and then click on the button that reads We're Ready. This will lead you back to your organization dashboard. From your organization dashboard, you can navigate to your evaluation. This can be done by selecting the tab that reads Manage Evaluation. You will see from this page a list of all of your sites. If any item that you designated as sharing, you will need to go into that specific site to upload those shared materials. So, for instance, for one of our groups, we stated that Leesburg Sterling Family Practice of Ashburn was the primary site. So we would click on the Actions button and then click on the line that reads Go to Program Dashboard. This will navigate you to a page that looks like this, and you will need to select the tab that reads Evaluation. You will see a tab labeled PCMH. If you click on this tab, it'll again divide each of those into separate categories. The first one is all PCMH criteria. You'll again see the core criteria and then the 2 electives. Since we stated that the item that we were sharing was in our care coordination, the easiest way to navigate to that is the All PCMH Criteria tab. You'll see the CC section labeled Care Coordinations. And from this page, you will see that one of the items that we shared between the groups is the Acute Care After Hours Coordination, which is CC17. This little mark right here indicates that this is an item being shared. If we click on this tab, it will appear a box stating that this item is shared, part of all sites group, and this practice site is the primary site for this group, so this item will be evaluated as part of this site and the result of the evaluation will be shared among all sites in this group. If you were to accidentally go into another site that was not designated as the primary, it'll read a blue-yellow box stating that this is not the primary site. Please navigate to the primary site in order for you to upload documentation.